You had this ready to go? I don't know what half of this means. Yay, she can shoot a giant beam of whatever too. Okay, she's just floating down from the sky now. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ben, and today I'll be reacting to the final episode of The Legend of Korra Season 2. Now, I'm very excited for this, but also very worried, because in the last episode, Rava kind of died. I think it's a spirit. I don't really know. I think they said that they could be destroyed, but they would come back eventually. Probably after Korra is long dead, probably after humanity's dead. Because it's the spirit of light. It can't really die, it's just disintegrated. At the very least, the Avatar's kind of done. Korra no longer has that power behind her, and I'm very curious to see if she does have waterbending still. I doubt she'll have the others, because that's a very Avatar thing, but it'll be so interesting to see if she has lost everything, her waterbending included. My main concern is that the last episode showed the past Avatars disappearing with Rava, and I hate the idea of that. I want them to come back. I'm assuming Rava will have to come back. There's 2 other seasons left with Korra, I'm assuming, as the Avatar. So hopefully that comes back and they bring the other Avatars with it. But that's just got me worried. I don't want Aang's spirit or Roku or Kyoshi's spirit to be gone. There's like a whole collection of knowledge that helped the Avatar. I don't want that to be erased as well. That's like very painful there. Then looking at the other side of things, I am really excited to see what Korra does now. Because if she has lost absolutely all of her power, I want to know if she will keep fighting. I'm assuming she'll still feel very defeated, but it'll be very interesting to see if even without bending, like water bending included, if she will still just keep going, that she has that heroic drive within her, that even if she's lost all these abilities, she still wants to continue fighting, knowing that giving up is kind of worse at this point. We also have Jinora, who's gone off to do something. I'm not really sure. She faded away at the last episode. I don't know if that's going back to her body or still in the spirit world. She's free, I guess, but it would be interesting to see wherever that goes. And then Unalaq, he kind of just disappeared into the sky, and he's become a full dark avatar now, so that's fun. And he went gigantic. I don't get the point. Why did he go gigantic? I mean, I have come to terms with the fact that Asami, I guess, just is not going to do anything for this finale. She just drove. She flew Korra's father home. That was it in the 2 episodes ago. She really can't keep up with anything going on now. Mako and Bolin at least have bending, so they might be able to combat spirits. Asami can't really do a lot, so at least I'm holding out hope that next season she gets more to do. But yeah, I'm just excited to see where this goes and what they will do with Korra, considering she has now lost, hopefully, all of her power, because I just want to see her keep fighting if she really has lost everything. But yeah, as always, if you do enjoy this video, please remember to like and subscribe, as it really does help the channel to grow. And if you do enjoy my content and you want to help support the channel, I do have a Patreon, the link will be in the description. Over there I'm uploading these videos and the full reaction a week in advance. If that's something you're interested in, feel free to check it out. With that said, let's just dive on in. I mean, currently doesn't look too bad. Of course the sky's purple and you got the lights in the sky, but it kind of looks pretty.
Pretty.
See? I don't really get bad vibes from this. Oh, wait, what? Okay, why did he come here? What's happening? What's he doing? What's the plan here? Is it just to destroy everything?
Take back the physical world.
And you're starting with Republic City. Interesting choice. I guess it's the unification of the world, so yeah. And here's where the army is. A bit late. President really should have sent them to help deal with him earlier, because now he's doing nothing. And it's still just waterbending. That's what I gotta hold out for. It's only waterbending that he has, nothing else. And is this can't be, is this even Unalaq anymore? I feel like this is just Vaatu. You dare! Okay, now the statue's gone. Oh, I hate him so much. Cool transition showing both the avatars down.
But I need to get them into some spirit water right away.
Oh, wait. Spirit water, that's the stuff that Tara used to bring back Aang after she got shot by lightning. We have a lightning. Oh, wait, it's just everyone in the spirit world. Oh, brilliant. Spirit water, obviously, duh. I guess that's one good thing about these portals being open. Water that can basically resuscitate Aang can now be accessed very easily.
Thank goodness you're all okay.
How is Korra?
I was able to rescue her soul, but she wasn't ready to return to her body yet.
Okay, so she didn't go there.
They fused, then Vaatu ripped Rava right out of me and destroyed her.
Yeah.
Korra, can't you talk to one of your past lives or something?
When Vaatu destroyed Rava, he destroyed my connection to the past avatar.
Connection. That's it. He didn't destroy the past avatars, he destroyed her connection.
I'm the last avatar. I'm so sorry.
You am or you was. Interesting. So does she still have power? Does Rava... Okay, lots to think about. The word choice is interesting. Either she absolutely has no power whatsoever, or she has power, just no Rava, meaning that she will be the end of the Avatar cycle, which is also kind of depressing as well.
It's going to destroy the entire city.
Should have sent you armies sooner. Oh, and the purple, yep, energy beam. Is that the one that you were in? Lin and President, were they in that one? Yes, they were. Okay. You really should have acted sooner. This is what you get for just thinking you could protect the city against this. You had no idea what the threat was, and you didn't help the Avatar, who knew far more than you did. Oh, you're right in the line of fire. I would move. What do the tentacles do? They're not just for show, are they? No, they are not for show. They do stuff. Oh, those aren't tentacles. Okay, what the? That look like vines.
Vines are destroying everything! This is Shiro Shinobi signing off!
Oh dear, Varric. How did he avoid that? Did Julie get whacked? How? So he has control of plants now. Well, water bending, I guess. Yeah, swamp bending makes sense.
Commence Operation Winged Freedom!
Oh, and he's escaping. She's okay? You didn't get whacked? You had this ready to go?
Do the thing!
No one took this off him. He's in prison. What is even the point of putting him in prison? So he's out. Great.
I may not be able to help you anymore, but perhaps I can.
No one can help me now.
Defeatist. Yep, you'll get over it. You'll be better than you were before.
But I realized it was because I had a lot of spiritual growth to do myself.
Can you even be a better mental now?
Let go of your attachment to who you think you are and connect with your inner spirit.
Yes, come on. Oh, Tenzin passing on his own lesson.
I'm not connected to a spirit anymore.
I'm not talking about Rava. Rava is not who you are.
True. Yeah. Okay, so finding the more individual side of the Avatar. So when she connected back with one, she saw that picture of what the Avatar was. That it was this collection of people. She didn't see her own part in it.
And the legends say that its roots bind the spirit and physical worlds together.
That tree does it.
The ancients would meditate beneath this tree and connect with the great cosmic energy of the universe.
Is that kind of like Buddha? Because I think in Hinduism, Buddha sat under a tree when he got enlightened. Is this what that's coming from? But of course, this tree seems a lot more impressive.
The most powerful thing about you is not the spirit of Rava, but your own inner spirit.
Yep, the one that just keeps fighting and doesn't give up. That's what you need right now.
Brave and smart. Always wanted to defend the helpless.
That's right. He became a legend because of who he was.
This could be very big. Her whole life has been defined by being the Avatar. Is she actually going to find out who she is without it? Then that could strengthen her more.
Everyone in Republic City is in danger.
You have to help them, Korra.
How?
Yes, even without being the Avatar, you can do it.
Connect to the cosmic energy of the universe. Don't bend the elements, but the energy within yourself.
Cool. But so how'd you get... So, is that like... How does that help her get there? Oh.
Thank you for not giving up on me.
I love this so much. This is only season 2. Their connection better just grow from here. They have gone through quite a bit of development now. I want to see them just flourish as like a mentor-mentee relationship.
He cannot destroy light any more than I can destroy darkness.
Here we go.
One cannot exist without the...
So Rava isn't completely gone.
Find the light in the dark.
Does that mean you can find Rava still? Maybe in the cosmic energy? So cosmic energy is everything. Or maybe you can find... Oh, it's like the giant... Okay, this is the cosmic Aang thing that we've seen. So she's got her own one, yeah. There's the bridge. This is connecting to the Avatar state. Or is this just cosmic energy? Confused. Just go with it. This one's holding an orb. Did Aang hold an orb? Okay. I gotta remember, this is Spirit World. I don't know what half of this means. Okay, giant. Yep, yay. So this is her meditating. So it's not her physical body, this is her spirit. And it's gigantic.
What did you say to her exactly?
This is so trippy. I'm so confused. So this isn't Rava. This is just Korra being able to bend cosmic energy, creating a giant version. I'm getting lost on the giant versions of themselves. That bit's confusing me. Like that. How does this factor in? And this is just Korra. Not Avatar, no power. This is just Korra. So she hasn't got water. What does this thing do? I'm very lost. A lot's happening. Does this mean anyone could do that? Could Tenzin sit in the tree and do this?
And she's a blue giant!
Yeah, just go with it. But what about this dude? Do you have bending? Tell me she has bending in this. She's bending cosmic energy. I'm assuming that means she can do whatever. She can transport herself here. Do whatever. Is that water bending? Can she shoot? Yay, she can shoot a giant beam of whatever too. Okay, fun. Are you stronger? Apparently so. Why? I feel like a lot of this is just for the fun of it, just having this giant, I guess, kaiju fight. I feel like not a lot of it has much backing and understanding why this is happening. It's cool though. And checked away, but you still got to defeat him. How do you defeat him? He's still like an avatar. If he dies, he can be reborn. Oh, how is this gonna be over very fast?
Looking for something that is gone.
It's not gone. Oh,
Rava has been destroyed.
Oh, you're trying to get Rava back.
Whom you will be too.
No, not blast. Not over quite yet. Wonderful. Fight a bit more. But this isn't her physical body. Was that like a spirit or physical? I don't know. It was just an attack. Still would deal with all of that.
They're coming for Korra!
And of course, Asami just isn't here because she can do nothing. Oh wait, so Vatu's even figured out that this isn't her, so he's sent the dark spirits after her physical body to deal with this. What are you doing? Oh, what? They're doing the weird spirit purification thing. If it turns purple, it means he's trying to destroy his spirit. Yeah, he's trying to destroy his spirit. That's great. We haven't seen it actually work, and yeah, this would kill her. It would be worse than killing her if he succeeds here. I mean, it just had to be Korra's strength of will that defeats this, right? Because these guys can't do anything to an army of dark spirits. Yep, Bolin's gone. Oh, yay, they turn. Okay, thank you. I had hope for you too.
Leave my Bolin alone!
You're Bolin. Okay, so is that still like a thing?
Asuka! I love you!
Oh dear. I still think that relationship is unbelievably toxic, but sure.
So romantic.
Okay, go with it. Okay, fight together. Try and get away afterwards. Maybe she'll forget.
I will be the one true Avatar.
No. Is that... I feel like Unlock still isn't even present there. What? Okay, she's just floating down from the sky now. Giant kaiju fight and... well, I don't even know. Jinora descending from the heavens.
Be careful, sweetie!
Yep, go with it. It's just... okay. What does this mean? Why is this happening? Light bending, maybe? Is that it? So Jinora saved you. Great.
No!
Heart beating. Rava? Jinora's weird connection with the spirit was able to bring Rava up to the surface of whatever. She was able to speed up the process of her re-emerging. Just to reach inside of it like that, okay. I love how we're just hearing the heartbeat of it. Just the signal, the sign of life there. We've got her out. But you're not fused. Would you need another harmonic convergence to fuse them together? He's frozen. Cool. You're fine. What does this do though? It's still like a weird connection thing. Can you purify pure darkness? Seems to be working. But like, what does that do? Disintegrating. Is that the... what does that mean? I don't understand what any of this means. It's cool. It looks awesome. I think this is a great victory for Korra, but I don't get why it's being done the way it's done.
Harmonic convergence is nearly over.
Oh,
we
it's still
must
going.
return to the spirit world so we can fuse once again.
So not over yet. Cool. So okay, yeah, everything can be sorted. So Vatu is so is Vatu in basically the state that Rava was in? He's gone, but he'll come back in like 10,000 years. I mean, it'll get a cool scene. Korra will fuse again. She'll come out of this triumphant, and she'll destroy all the army of dark spirits. But okay, yeah, they're just going off what they were kind of programmed to do. Vatu's last order was to attack them, Korra. Okay, there she is. How long do you have left? How long does this last? How long does this harmonic convergence last, right? Because that means the whole fight had to take place in that amount of time. I feel like it took longer. Then I get... how long would the planet stay aligned? Because that's what it is, right? It's still glowing. Don't get why. Okay, gone back to physical body and disintegrating. Okay. I mean, nah. She didn't... okay, going back. So many things. It looks cool. I feel like the reasoning behind it is very vague, though. And awakening. Yay. Happy to see you alive.
Don't worry. They're alright. Korra saved the world.
Wonderful. Still, the way it was done is just interesting. You need to fuse with that thing fast. Cool that it's giant now. So yeah, Vaatu really is completely powerless, but he's gone, but he can be brought back. Yeah, 10,000 years. Okay. Oh, you're like flying on it. So I like that she was completely powerless here, but of course, I guess she still used spirit power or whatever. Okay, Avatar Reborn, right, please. Tell me it works. Darkness gone, light returns, 10,000 years, wonderful. And the portals are back to normal. Yay. And you're good. Got all your bending back and you're glowing and cool.
Our Avatar spirit has returned.
And she looks interesting. She looks like how Vaatu and Unlock did. That's cool. Is the bending back on?
It's over.
Tell me the bending's back on, right? I'd assume so. Happy now.
I don't even know what to say.
You were amazing.
How are they going to deal with the whole relationship drama? Is he going to tell her now?
I just wish Varric had been here to film it. It would have been the greatest mover ever.
He still loves Varric. Oh, fine, I guess. Just go with it.
I'm sorry about your father. He was already fused with Vaatu. I couldn't save him.
I mean, he managed to get...
Legend of Korra is under the impression we are saddened by our father's demise.
You know?
But I will not miss him at all. In the end, he became a deplorable man.
Okay, that was fast.
How will we explain this to Mother?
Okay, what happened to the mother? Okay, Mother was there. Where's the mother gone? I felt like that would have been interesting to see. Where was Unalaq's wife?
I do not think that will be possible.
Okay, Desna can come too.
Wait, is she breaking it up?
Eternal darkness was upon us. I became caught up in the moment.
Okay, so, okay, good. You both got caught up in the moment.
You will always hold a special place in the organ that pumps my blood.
You can just say heart.
I will remember you fondly, my turtle duck.
Okay, better way to end that relationship. Mutual, and I guess kind of Esker ending it. That's better. Less controlling, and just it develops her.
Missed you, little buddy.
Oh, that one's back to normal too. So dark spirits are all completely gone now, right?
Are you also reconnected to your past lives?
No.
Why?
I think that link is gone forever.
What? I mean, they're not gone. You're just your connection to them is gone. So you could re-get that at some point, maybe.
Maybe I shouldn't.
I'm gonna close them.
What if Unalaq was right when he said the Avatar shouldn't be a bridge? What if Avatar 1 made a mistake when he closed the portal?
I mean, he was trying to trap Vaatu inside. Vaatu seems to be gone. So I guess it wouldn't be that bad. You both have your separate worlds. The spirits can come into the world now, but they can always go to their own one.
I think you should trust your instincts. There is nothing else I can teach you.
I mean, it wasn't Wan's mistake. He did it to keep people from getting to Vaatu. That was the point. They can stay open, I guess. Wouldn't be the worst thing. The tree seems fine. I'm sure Tenzin would like coming back here.
Hey, can we talk?
Of course.
You gonna end this already?
I know I said it wasn't that bad, but that's not exactly true.
I mean, this is a better time to do it after everything.
I broke up with you.
I remember.
But...
Okay, better. So, good.
I did, but being inside the Tree of Time brought it back.
Ah, true. The whole memory thing.
Sorry for blowing up at you.
That's okay. I think we both said some things that we regret.
Did you see that he was with Asami or something?
I know I should have, but didn't want to hurt you all over again.
Good intentions. Considering the circumstances, I think it's okay. It's forgivable, considering just how much was going on. You want her to focus on the main thing.
You're right.
It's over for real this time.
Really? Actually? Okay, so much for everything that happened in season 1. The relationship drama isn't going to end here, is it? It's going to keep going.
I'll always love you, Korra.
And I'll always love you.
Better as friends. Keep it as friends. Just stay friends.
You want a hug?
Aww. Yeah. Okay, but what about Asami? She's still not been here. What are we doing with that? What's her purpose now?
The water tribes will always be allies, but the southern tribe is now independent.
Cool.
Has appointed my father, Tonraq, to be your new chief.
Okay, so now I guess officially chief. So he wasn't. So the tribes were brother and sister. They were connected. Now they've fully separated and independent nations now?
I've decided to keep the portals open. Humans can now physically enter the spirit world.
And get to the other side of the world instantly, basically.
My mission will always be to use Rava's light spirit to guide the world toward peace and...
Okay, so less of a bridge, more of a guide now. You're pushing them in the right direction.
Things will never be the same again. We are entering a new age.
The Northern Lights State and all the spirits floating in the sky. Okay, new age. Wow, okay, interesting. Ah, and there's the Bible Spirit, yay. Okay, but I think that was a pretty good ending to this season. I can definitely see why people consider it the weakest among them so far. The ending is kind of just a bit crazy for me. It gets kind of, things happen and I don't know why they happen. Okay, so I think my biggest takeaway from this is that I do love Korra's drive and just what she does in this episode. Final thing, this whole time, her character has been defined by being the Avatar. Aang, his story was basically he didn't want to be it, but he reluctantly went to it. Beautiful story. Korra saw the past and wanted to be like Aang. She realised that she was the Avatar and she wanted so desperately to be like them. It wasn't really about saving people or doing the right thing. She wanted, but because she had this power, she wanted to be able to use it and forge her own place in history. That was it. I love that we've basically gotten to see her make a deeper meaning to that for herself. Like the powers actually was taken away from her and she's had to learn to fight to get it back and to redefine it for herself. She's found what she actually wants to do while being the Avatar. Not just be the bridge, being the protector, but actually try and progress the overall mission of what the Avatar is meant to be doing. The whole purpose of Wan was to teach humans and spirits to get along. That kind of got lost over the centuries, and now it seems to be coming back. Of course, I don't think Wan made a mistake in closing the portals, because that whole purpose was to stop evil people from getting in and freeing Vaatu. Unalaq. So I don't think it was a mistake, because that would have just happened sooner, and I think that the person there might not have been prepared as Korra was. But now, it's kind of fine, because Vaatu is, I guess, gone, or at least in Rava, but like teeny and like untouchable. And then Unalaq seems to be gone as well. I'm surprised that they didn't... The thing is, I'm surprised that they didn't do what Unalaq did to Korra, where he got Rava out of her. He separated the Avatar from the spirit, yet they didn't do that with Unalaq. I would have thought that would be the thing to do, but no, that he was disintegrated. So that truly means Unalaq became a full spirit then, if no body remains, no mortal form, which just makes me think that wasn't even Unalaq's will that left. It was just Vaatu using Unalaq as basically a vessel. Yeah, I think it all looked very cool. Kaiju fight, awesome. Giant Korra versus Giant Unalaq, all of that very cool. I just think, why though? Was it just to have a cool visual for the end of this thing? I mean, it fits with I guess how big the plot is, but it just feels odd. Like, what backing is there for them to turn giant? I think that's the bit that's like a bit iffy for me. And then it's Jinora. Jinora descending from the heavens, just a glowing orb around her. Why? I mean, I get that she is important, she does her thing, but like visually, why? I feel like she could have done that from the spirit world. It seems odd to me why that happened. Of course, I think her purpose in this, fine. Reawakening Rava, speeding up the spiritual process, perfectly fine. Visually, I just think there's a disconnect between that and her descending from the heavens and all that stuff. I think that is the main issue I'm having with this final. I understand why they're doing it and why they fought the way they fought and the things and their sort of actions to defeat Unalaq, but visually, I don't get why they turned giant, and I don't get why Jinora was glowing and like flying in the sky. That bit's lost on me. I feel like there would have been other ways to get that to work. Korra knew Jinora was up to something. I feel like Jinora could have just stayed in the spirit world and worked behind the scenes to reawaken Rava. Then just the whole floating in the sky thing, I feel like it's just done for like a visual wow moment to go with how big the plot has gotten, rather than making sure what's actually happening is easier to follow. Because it does feel quite difficult to follow in the moment, just seeing this happen and just not know why it's happening. But looking at this season as a whole, I think it's definitely worse than Season 1. Season 1 had a more concise story. This one, they tried to do a whole lot. I think they did well trying to do the giant plot and how it ended it. I think that all ends quite well because it's leading into other things. And so this thing probably won't entering into a new spiritual age. We're going to see the effects of this going into Season 3 and 4, hopefully. So I don't think it's ending here, which makes sense because of how big everything was. The downfall is that the villain did not live up to how big the plot was. Vaatu does, but Unalaq just doesn't. He is basically just the skin suit that Vaatu... He's basically just the skin suit that Vaatu has been puppeting around and then gets into at the end. That's basically it. It feels like he has no will of his own. We don't know why he's doing what he's doing. He basically just does everything Vaatu wants. That's it. And then, of course, my biggest thing is that Asami just didn't do anything. She truly feels forgotten here. She's a great character. She's the only one in the group without bending. She's the one that basically makes the audience want to connect with it all. Because that's basically Sokka. We can't do all the cool bending stuff. Sokka was our sort of gateway into this world by saying that he does the things that we can do. So we can sort of imagine ourselves in this world and with these people. Asami is that gateway like Sokka was. But now she's just been left behind. Because I think absolutely amazing thing about The Last Airbender was how they managed to incorporate Sokka into the main plot, considering how big it got and how amazing it got. Yet he had no bending, no power, just pure human skill alone. Asami should be doing that. And I feel like with how big the plot got, she got left behind because there's just no way for her to keep up. I'm just really hoping that the next season calms down a bit. I think trying to go beyond this would be a complete mistake. That would be just even more nuts. And this did well, but of course things slipped apart. Things didn't work out too well. Villain, Asami. So going too big would be a complete mistake. I think you'd lose even Bolin and Mako at that point. I hope next season takes it smaller so that everyone can do something and feel important. And you can just do something with all the characters. Right now, Mako's main thing is the relationship with Korra. That was just his whole thing for this entire season. I kind of wish we got to see more of his police work. We saw bits of it, but then he gets in prison. So I hope that we get to see more development in like life outside. Because this was pointed out to me. This show basically deals with the group and balances their outside life with their group work as well. So that's something that's going on. Avatar, the whole focus was them as a group, not what they do outside of the group. This is balancing what they do outside of the group with what they do in the group. So I'm hopeful that in the next season we get to see that developed a bit more and we just get more focus on them as individuals, both in the group and outside of the group. Because this one, it starts to do that, but it does fall apart because of how Asami gets left behind. Bolin, I think, probably one of the better ones with his whole movers thing and how that comes full circle in a lot of ways. Mako, his main focus was being a detective. He's gotten promoted now, which is good, so hopefully we'll see that go further. But when you look back, I feel like the main thing I see is his relationship with Korra. That's the thing that stands out to me rather than his detective work. But I think overall, season was good. It managed to deal with this giant plot well. I'm just hopeful that season 3 can just fix some of the issues that this presented. Asami being my biggest one. But aside from that, it is going to be interesting nonetheless going forward with how this ends with entering a new spiritual age. What does that mean? So the spirits are now in the world. What is that going to look like? Is it going to go back to how Wan was? I mean, that is basically going to go back to that. You had the spirits in the world, but you also had another world where the spirits came from. So you always had two separate worlds and the connection with the portals, and the Tree of Time seems to connect them. You always had two separate worlds, but the spirits seem to come over to the mortal world and basically dominate it. They're far more powerful than just humans, but now I guess the humanity's had time to sort of be able to defend themselves, make connections, and sort of conquer their own world. So hopefully they can stand a better chance against the spirits now. And I can still see a lot of problems arising. I can see it getting very similar to Wan's time in just people not being able to leave cities and go out into the countryside with the fear of how spirits will respond to them. That's going to be an issue, and I'm hopeful that we get to see that sort of progress, because it will progress Wan's story and the whole spiritual stuff from this season with whatever goes on in the next one. To begin, I will say I did enjoy this episode. I think there's just a lot of flaws in this season overall, but they weren't enough to make me dislike what I was watching. Now, looking at Korra specifically, I do like her story in this, where basically from the start of this show, we've seen how defined she is by just being the Avatar and what that means to her, and she never really found her own meaning to it. She was looking at the world, how they viewed the Avatar, and wanted to live up to the world's expectations of her. Now, she's actually found herself, aside from just being the Avatar. The spirit is gone, the power was gone, she only had herself left, and she was able to find what she wanted to do as the Avatar through that. Aang's was very easy because he never wanted to be the Avatar in a world that needed him. Korra was born into a world that didn't need the Avatar, yet she desperately wanted it. Now she's found a way to continue the original mission of the Avatar while combining her own individual self with the grand scheme of it all. So going forward, I am very hopeful for her character now. We've seen a lot from her. She's a very stubborn and very strong fighter. She has flaws, but she always gets back up to keep fighting. But now I hope that she does have a much clearer picture of who she is and what it means for her to be the Avatar. Then I think one of the biggest weaknesses of this season was Unalaq. His villainy was it was lackluster. It wasn't well explored. For me, he basically seems like a skin puppet that Vaatu basically uses and then inhabits at the end. Vaatu is the main villain of this season, and Unalaq is just this plain figurehead that really doesn't amount to much. Yes, he's cool, the fight scenes were fun, but he had nothing going for him. I really wanted just something to explore his past on what got him to look for Vaatu to begin with. What made him think that the world was out of balance the way it was. I feel like this could have been done by seeing all the goodness that was in the world, maybe thinking it was too much. I think the analogy I used is when you have a horse that breaks its leg, the kind of thing to do is to put it out of its misery, because if a horse breaks its leg, it's going to take far too long to heal, probably more than its lifetime, and the pain it has is just awful. So the kind of thing to do is to put it out of its misery. That could be Unalaq's version of balance, while the world as it stands could be that they want to heal the horse and keep it alive and keep it going. That's all goodness, that's not balance. And that could have been what Unalaq's worldview was, and there could have been something in his past that presented that to him, and I feel like that would have been a much better way to build him and just lay a foundation for his character, rather than just, he shows up, he was mean to his brother, he got him kicked out, and now he wants all this power to destroy the world. It just feels very bland when you're considering a giant plot like this. Vaatu, however, is kind of good in the sense that he is just the embodiment of evil and darkness, so his motivations all make sense. You don't need an origin for him because he is a spirit. He is the origin of evil in this universe. So it is good how they handled him. But I do think at the end I wish they made it clearer who is actually in control, because I truly do not think for both of them to be there willingly, it would be beneficial for both. And that just can't work because of Unalaq being the embodiment of darkness. Him being this evil spirit and wanting to destroy everything, why on earth would he keep something from this mortal world that he wants to conquer alive inside of him? It makes far more sense for the embodiment of evil to corrupt and manipulate his vessel until it's nothing left. I feel like there is a bit of ambiguity in this ending, which I feel like could have been made a bit more clear. But other than that, I think Vaatu did serve his purpose well as being just the villain of this season and just being the thing that Korra had to stop. Ben Tenzin's journey through this season I did really like. Seeing him develop from being a reflection of Aang. That was all he was. He was trying to embody Aang and be the last airbender and live up to what he thought his father wanted from him. You got to see how his siblings respond to this and how their approach to it all works and how there was this huge divide between them as a family. Because Tenzin was basically trying to replicate their dad, and of course they have issues with their dad, so of course that's going to create even bigger rift between them all. I'm just so happy that he was able to free himself from this burden, that he can just be Tenzin, who he wants to be, and not be shackled by this image that he's been carrying of trying to not disappoint Aang, which would never happen. Aang would never be disappointed in any of his children. And I think I just love the scene here where he basically passed on that message to Korra, how he got to learn through all this, now Korra gets to learn through it as well. She doesn't have to be this avatar that the past remembers. She can be her own version of it and continue the mission in her own way. So going forward, I do hope that their relationship isn't done, that they still are mentor-mentee sort of dynamic, because now it feels like they could flourish completely. I'm assuming she would still want to learn about the spirit stuff. The spirits are going to be a very important part of whatever happens next. And Tenzin, I want them to learn together. But with Tenzin's experience and knowledge, I feel like he can still be the mentor and they can still help each other. That feels like the cornerstone of their relationship. Tenzin is the mentor, but they help each other grow. Then Jinora. This is the thing that it brings up more issues for me. Floating down from I get her purpose in this. I do like her role in this, being sort of an Iroh person, how she has this connection with the spirits. All of that's fine. The way she is used in the final just doesn't work for me. Her coming down from the sky, glowing with a ball of light and reactivating lava. It makes sense, but visually it doesn't. Like the purpose of what she's doing, that's fine. She's the one with the connection with the spirits. She has some kind of weird powers or abilities or closeness, so she can find the light within the darkness, unlike anyone else, and she can bring it to the surface. Perfectly fine. Visually, I think they didn't explain that well. She just appears out of nowhere when the only people we've seen do that are Korra and Unalaq. So it basically means that all this work that Korra's done to try and get with the connection of the energy and the universe and all this stuff, Jinora just does like instantly. It almost feels like she's too good, in a sense. Am I explaining this well? I don't think I am. We've seen Korra's journey, trying to connect with the spirits and going through this cosmic energy thing. Jinora seems to do it far easier. Fine, some people are just gifted and talented at things easily, that's fine. But when you're writing a story and you have the main character get shown up like this, I mean, not really shown up, I'm not explaining this well, but it just doesn't work for me. Seeing Jinora do this, I think it's visually, it doesn't explain it well with how she got here and did this and why on earth is she glowing like this. And I think it just could have been done in a better way for her to still have this role to bring the light back to the surface to help Korra. But to me, visually, it makes no sense. Why is she descending from the sky and glowing? And it's just, that completely throws me off. And I think from what you can read into it, it negatively impacts Korra, because it might not be the case, but it seems like she also traveled through the harmonic convergence using her spirit to get to this place instantly, which is what Korra struggled and had to figure out and worked with Tenzin to figure out. Jinora didn't need any of them. She just did it, and she's a side character. I think that's what bothers me a little bit, because that's what I can interpret from seeing this. Since we don't know exactly what's happening, that's all I can go on. If there's another explanation, I'll be much happier, but then that still means that visually, it's left this very confusing and it just doesn't work for me. Hopefully though, going forward, we'll get to see more of Jinora and just have her, I guess, we'll get more defined in her role, because right now it just feels like she's there to do anything the plot needs. That's it. The plot was about spirits, she can do anything with spirits. Define her role, make it clearer, just to help me understand what her limits are, because right now it doesn't feel like she has any. What's the point of having the Avatar be the bridge between the spirits and stuff when you have Jinora doing this? Of course, now Korra isn't the bridge, but like, what's the point of the Avatar having anything to do with spirits when you have Jinora? All I need for my problem to be solved is for her to be defined and given limits, or just an understanding of what it is she does. Because right now, there is no limit or understanding. It's just she shows up for the plot when it needs her, and she does it. That's it. I need her defined. Then Mako and Bolin. I'm happy with what this did for them, considering how sort of weak they are in comparison with just everything going on. Mako's story, again, I think the negative is that he got defined by the relationship he had with Korra rather than his detective work, which I think I would have preferred if it had more focus on and more relevance during the final. And then, of course, how can you fit that in with how big the plot got? Okay, it seems like there's a light at the end of the tunnel here with him fully ending the relationship with Korra, so hopefully going forward that means he can have just more independence and just be given something else to do that will have more relevance. But then Bolin, I think he was handled the best, having his side story come full circle with him acting and then eventually using it to convince Eska and kind of his actual feelings with his acting to convince Eska to join their side, and it worked in the end, so I'm very happy with how that all worked out. I just think everyone will kind of benefit from a smaller plot, because this is just far too cosmic. Now looking at the side characters who didn't get much to do but were there. Sadly, Asami is in that now. She's not really part of the main group in this. She is just a side character. She was there when Jinora woke up and she had one line. She did nothing this season final, which is just so disappointing because she is a great character. She has great history, being the daughter of one of the villains from the last season, yet she gets reduced to so little here. It truly feels like the writers just didn't know what to do with her, which is such a shame because there's ways she could be implemented into this. Make a machine that can do something to spirits. That's all you need to do. This world is fantasy. Make a material that's from the spirit world that spirits can't interact with. Coat your machines in that. Then Asami can now have relevance. Here, she was just forgotten, which is just disappointing, but holding out hope that she gets more to do in the next one. Esko and Desna, very happy with them. Their story has worked quite well here. Of course, I think the relationship between Esko and Bolin, plenty of issues, was used for comedy, but now it seems to have come to a good ending. And after all, they are Korra's family, so it's good that that ends on like a good note. And it's always nice to see some villains or antagonists get defeated by turning better or turning against their old ways. And then I've got to talk about Varric. He had like one scene, but of course he's amazing. Somehow Julie managed to sneak in a glider into the prison cell and they were just waiting for their moment. So he is loose, he is out and doing something. Would the Republic City even bother going after him at this point? I don't know. I feel like he could just... I don't know. He's out there somewhere. He's doing whatever. I can't wait to see him come back. I know there's no way he'll be done. He's that much fun of a character. I can already imagine what other stories they've got planned for him. He's just chaotic and he can just be used anywhere. And now that he's free, I cannot wait to see what he ends up doing. Yeah, as for what's next, very excited for Season 3. Entering a new spiritual age. I think this is just going to be very fun. Hopefully the overall story is smaller. That's all I'm hoping for. I just need it to be smaller. Not some giant cosmic fate of all reality thing. Just something where you have a villain that's challenging to Korra, that she has to overcome something to defeat. It doesn't have to be the fate of the world. It can just be something that happens to develop her. Because then you can get Mako, Bolin and Asami back in there doing something and having more relevance and importance to the plot. It doesn't just have to be Korra and something that she can solve on her own. And I think having a new spiritual age will help that. Everyone will be finding their new footing. The Avatar has a new job, so they're sort of thrown out of whack. They're now a guide instead of a bridge, but you also have all these other people, both non-benders and benders alike, who are having to learn how to work in this new world. Bolin, Asami, and Mako. That's where they come in, and that's where they can do something. They're all in a new place, in a new story, and I'm just hoping that that means that they can all be on equal footing now. Then overall, I did enjoy this season. Of course, not as much as the last one. I'm hoping to see improvement going into the next one. But I think this season does well at, I guess, the main thing that's defined from this season is just how big the plot was. I think the good thing about it is that they managed to bring a good ending to that. They expanded on the lore of the Avatar and they did it in a good way, but the weaknesses of this season is the villain and how they treat the side characters. This is the Avatar versus Vaatu, essentially. That's it. You could really get rid of a lot of the side characters and you wouldn't miss them at all. It gets messy and it gets to the point where the writers are just trying very hard to figure out how to incorporate these characters into how large the story's gotten to the point where they just can't. So they have to relegate them to being drivers or just standing by Janora's side as she wakes up. So I think this season is it rides a fine line between good and bad. How big the story is makes up for, I guess, the weaknesses, but the weaknesses do drag it down from it being better than, I guess, is around good. Season 1 was good, This was just, it was good. That probably doesn't explain my thoughts on it that well. Obviously, season 1 better. This one just not there because of how they treat the side characters in terms of how large the plot got. It's not really, they can't do anything about it because how big the plot is. This season's just tricky. It's just kind of a mess, but they do the things with Korra and the world building and the lore and the big things well. That's the thing. All the big stuff, that's fine. The little things and the details and the characters that you got to know and love from season 1 aren't treated well. But now this is out the way, hopefully it gets smaller because I don't see how they can get bigger. Now that it's out the way, going forward to season 3, I'm hopeful that we can just have a sort of restart. We can see them all on equal footing and we can just get them all developed and that season 3 can just be better than this one. But yeah, with that said, that does bring me to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you thought about this episode and this season in the comments. And with that said, I will see you in the next one for season 3, episode 1. See ya!